My name is Regina Benz. As a result of my own miscarriage in 2007, I was led to become the founder of an organization called Holy Sows, which sews burial layettes for micro-preemie infants. My mom said, well, that would be a great project for the extension homemakers to do. I tried to tell so many people what I had in mind and get people to help me. And I ended up in the office of the Parish Life Coordinator at Our Lady of the Holy Souls Church.
Hello, my name is Mary Sue Whitelaw, and I'm Vice President of a beautiful ministry called Holy Sows. I've been involved since around 2008 when I first met Regina. And I have to tell you that I absolutely fell in love with her the first time she opened her mouth, and I decided I wanted to be a part of this.
Mary Sue just took me under her wing, and it was more than just, I will help you do this. She guided me through it spiritually and emotionally, and has just been an absolute rock for me.
At the time, I had no idea that there were so many stillborn births in the United States or the world, and it really took me aback, and I wanted to be a part of this because I could see it as something very beautiful, very spiritual, and something that would give me great joy.
We're now in over 400 hospitals in 50 states. I am Bruce Sadd. I am the president of the board of directors for Holy Sows. We have chapters throughout the United States. We have chapters in Canada. We've delivered layettes to Puerto Rico. We've even had deliveries going down to Africa. All the sewing, all the assembly, all the purchasing, everything that's done to produce these beautiful layettes are done by volunteers.
We have several women that attend our work days every month, and they just inspire me so much.
I'm Jennifer Kunsel, and I am the coordinator for the Dallas-Fort Worth chapter of Holy Sows. I've been involved since about 2012, 2013. I just decided, that the Holy Spirit was working and I was gonna get involved with Holy Sows, and we've been going steady since about 2014 when we had our first work day here.
My name is Julie Montfort, and I started with Holy Sows through Jennifer, who got me volunteering mostly just because I like to sew. I didn't know there was such a need for this.
My name is Erica Salazar, and I attend church here at St. Catherine's, and where we do all of our work days. And I started with Holy Sows about 2 years ago.
My name's Shauna Abbott, and I am the Chief Packaging Officer for Holy Sows.
We set up sewing machines. We have people sewing, cutting, sewing on buttons, tying ribbons on bears and cards.
Workday is a very big part of it, and for those of us who don't sew, I am not a seamstress. They don't want me behind a machine. They don't want me with a needle in my hand, but I can package, I can cut.
Anybody can do it. You can come in, as we say, when somebody's like, oh, I don't know how to sew, you don't have to know how to sew. All you have to know is how to use a pair of scissors, how to tie a knot, how to count to 10 when we're putting stuff together. So it's something that you don't have to have a special talent to be able to contribute and help out.
You don't have to sew. You can count to 10, you can tie a bow, you can sort by color, great for all ages 8 all the way up to 100. We've got volunteers from all ages, and so it's fantastic to see different people that need service hours or whatever they need to do, but anyone can get involved.
I can do other things other than packaging, but I love the packaging part of it because I like touching and looking at every single layette and their differences and I just pour a lot of love into every single one of them. So I love touching them and putting them together.
One of my favorite things about Holy Sews is that you're able to kind of give your whatever talents you have and whatever time that you have, whether it be a lot at one point or a little bit later on. So I kind of ebb and flow and go in and out of how much time I have to give, whether I'm here during a work day tying bows onto bears or putting together prayer cards, wrapping layettes, and then sometimes if I have more time, I'm able to do a lot more of the sewing and things like that at home to bring up here.
The experiences that are at these meetings, you get to meet people, you get to have fun, everyone's talking, having a good time.
I really like to sew and craft. I knit, I crochet. So it was nice to see that there was something that I enjoy doing in my free time that actually would be able to help people.
There's a great sense of fellowship, and it feels like we're doing something with a purpose. It just feels like we are bringing something into the world, and there's a need being met that is ignored so often.
Sometimes I'll just sit at the sewing machine and look around the room and just thank God for the privilege of being a part of this wonderful ministry.
It gives you warm fuzzies to know how much it means, but again, I don't have to see it to know how much it means. And you know, coming into a work day, I look forward to work days. You know, to be able to talk to everybody, to be able to see all the stuff, all the little pretty stuff that we're putting together, and just know that because of what we're all doing here, everybody, whether they're just helping us take out the trash, they're having a hand in making sure that some family somewhere has something to dress their baby in.
Coming into a work day, we have such a great energy. We're laughing, and you know, seeing all the different ways that we put layettes together with a different fabric and everything.
It's very uplifting. It's very emotional at times, but it's a good emotion.
More than anything, the reason I loved coming was because it was a time for me to think about my girls and dedicate some time to my girls, and to be able to talk to some of the other people in the room with me, where it's not a sad thing. It was something that was happy, and we were remembering them.
If you ever come, you'll want to come back, because it's just that kind of welcoming, wonderful environment.
I wanted to see him. I was in the hospital for several days, but when the nurses brought him to me for the first time, he wasn't dressed. They just brought him to me to see.
I know that when Regina lost her baby, there was nothing for her in this way.
They did not have anything to dress him in.
When the child was presented to her in the hospital, it was presented in a wrap of fabric that was so overwhelming to the child. She couldn't really picture this as her child. She couldn't picture this as an individual child, a human being.
There was no ministry that offered something to her to take them home in, to like hold them in, that was special and sized for them.
Or even just have anything as a little keepsake that you can take home. You go to the hospital, you have a baby, and you walk out of there with nothing.
So I know that she was looking for something beautiful to honor them and to give this to other families who might be going through the same situation.
Regina decided to take some layettes to hospitals in Northwest Arkansas.
I had gathered up all of the pieces and the prototypes that we had done. I had them blessed by the priest, and instead of going shopping, my friend Heather and I went for a drive.
She grabbed a friend, and literally on Black Friday, they took off driving. And we're going to show them to some hospitals.
And we realized, well, there's an exit for a hospital. Let's just go now.
They happened to walk into one hospital, and
I thought, oh, this is kind of fun. It's a Catholic hospital.
And as it turned out, when she walked in, she met a nurse.
When we told her what we were there for, she looked at us with this disbelief.
And the nurse just broke into tears.
And then she says, I was on my way out the door to try to find something that would work because we have someone who is in labor and we can't get her labor to stop and her baby's going to die.
That family was actually experiencing a loss right then.
And I gave her my prototype.
Regina handed over her prototype, and it was, I guess that was just the beginning of us knowing that this was going to work and it was going to be something wonderful.
I know Regina, and know that she knew that this was going to have a profound impact on families all over.
The liberation was instant. There's no other way to describe that moment as sacred and holy. And I was in. Absolutely in.
These layettes allow these nurses to present the babies to the family as a baby. They had a baby. Just because we're acknowledging it, the hospital's acknowledging it, and they're able to see all of the love that has gone into this, and it helps to make the nurses' day a little bit better too, because they know it's not just us that knows about this problem, and we don't have to run down and try and see if there's a doll in the gift shop, that we can take the doll clothes off and try and make them fit. They've got the whole package there, and
every single person that volunteers here are just amazing people, and the love that everybody pours into every single layette, whether they're counting the ribbons, tying bows on bears, sewing them at home, packaging them, whatever it is, there's a lot of love that's put into every one of these, and I just hope that anybody that receives one of these layettes feels that.
One of my biggest passions is respect life, and what better way to respect life than by honoring it in death. So clothing the naked, clothing these tiny, precious babies that have nothing to wear. When these families have no choice, they've been told the devastating news, that they've lost their baby, and they've got to go to the hospital, they got to go through labor and delivery, and they can at least choose what their baby's going to wear.
There is an opportunity for us to love on these families and these babies that are in great need and are grieving and dealing with pain right now, and we can help them by providing this special service that other people aren't doing. So you have the opportunity to get involved and to really reach out to them one-on-one through Holy Sews.
We've made these layettes for these families. They've received them, and then they come back to the work days, and then it all makes sense. It's like, this is the love that went into dressing my child. I want to be a part of this. And it's just a beautiful and wonderful friendship, that the friendships that we form in this in the work days and in this whole ministry they're unlike any other friendships I've ever had.